Are you the type of golfer who continually struggles with their short game day after day, week after week? Well, good news is you've come to the right place, because today we're talking about one simple tip, a tip that I have given hundreds of golfers that immediately improves their short game. I'm PGA teaching professional Todd Kolb, Director of Instruction for US Golf TV and the Sanford Power Golf Academy. And we all know this already. You don't need me to tell you that in order to play a good quality round of golf, you got to have a good short game. And we're going to talk specifically today about chipping and also about putting. Now, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel, and also be sure to leave a comment. If you like what I've said or maybe you disagree, that's okay. I love the back and forth, and I love hearing from you. And a lot of you out there, man, you are providing some good comments and some good feedback that are helping your fellow golfers, so we greatly appreciate you doing that. Now, let's dive right into this. What are we talking about in the short game? Now, the first thing you got to know in the short game is that this is a shot that requires a lot of touch and feel. So we don't want a lot of wrist action and a lot of club rotation. So let me show you what I mean by that. A lot of golfers, when they struggle with the short game, they get really wristy in their chip shots and in their putts. So we're going to talk about putting in just a little bit. But to start with chipping, they get really wristy with their chip shots. There's a lot of club rotation and there's a lot of wrist angles moving around. Makes it very difficult. One is to control the direction, but also the distance that the ball travels. So here's a simple tip that can help you with that. I want you to think about the angle of your wrist. So when we call this drill, I like to call it thumbs down. Now, hopefully this drill thumbs down, hopefully you give me a thumbs up on it, because I think it's going to help you, but we call it thumbs down. So what we're talking about here is when I take my thumbs and I rotate them down, what that does is it limits the ability for me to rotate my wrist in different angles. So let me give you a visual. So when I take my wrist and I rotate them down like this, okay, I can rotate that club, as you can see there, but notice it does not travel very far, and the rotation in the face is not a lot. If I take my wrists and I rotate them this way, which is what we do on a standard golf shot, because we want some wrist hinge and some rotations. Those are the things that give us some speed and distance. But when I do that in a short game, I rotate it this way, right? Now it's like this, and now I rotate. Notice how far that club travels, and also notice the face, and it rotates. So I can do the same thing with my putter. So when I grab my putter, right, if I rotate my thumbs down, okay, I can rotate the face and stuff, but it doesn't travel very far, and there's not a ton of rotation. I grip it like this, it's rotating and moving all over the place, all right? So that is the tip. So let's talk about what that's gonna look like. So in chipping, when you're set in there, when you get set up, I want you to take your thumbs and just rotate them and point them down. Okay, so when I rotate and point them down, the club gets a little bit more vertical, and when I make the swing back and through, that's going to limit that rotation. If I take it and I grip it down like this, okay, now I've got a lot more ability, sadly, to rotate that face and swing the club further. So when you're hitting a chip shot, take those and rotate those down a little bit. Now at the end here, I'm going to share with you a little bit of a feel that you can do to help you get your wrists in that angle. Now, next thing is when we're talking about putting. All right, when it talks about putting, this is where we want the least amount of rotation. And we've done a ton of great videos on putting already. If you haven't checked out some of those, be sure to check some of those out. But when it comes to putting, this is the place we want the least amount of face rotation, and the putter head travels the least amount, right? So when you're set in there, once again, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your wrists and just point the thumbs down, okay? This would be good, this would be bad. I'm gonna rotate and point them down. And when I do that, I'm just gonna go ahead and place my hands on there, make my natural motion, and you'll find that you'll be less likely to rotate the face and get too much putter swing back and through. So how are we going to take this and actually apply it next time we head to the golf course? Well, here's what I want you to think about. When you're placing your hands on that club, whether it be a putter or the wedge, I want you to feel like the club works more up into the lifeline up here of the hand. So when I rotate my thumbs down, that's the tip, rotate the thumbs down, the grip of the club, okay, the end of the club will work more up into the lifeline versus down here towards the fingers. This is great when we're hitting a full shot. We want it up here when we're hitting a chip shot or when we're hitting a putt around the green. So this is what we call thumbs down. I hope you like it, and I hope you give me a thumbs up on this video.